I have my Our Lady of Coffee, Our Lady of Coffee, a Lady of Coffee Loopy mug. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Father James. I'm drinking, as you can see, from the Our Lady of Guadalupe coffee mug. It's not Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish coffee mug because we don't have such a thing, but it is, I think it came from Mexico. I'm pretty sure it comes from Mexico. Yep, that's Spanish, definitely Spanish. So I want to talk to you about my favorite topic. Only kidding. I don't mind talking about this topic, but it's sometimes not everyone else's favorite topic. So some of you may have noticed that in the electronic newsletter or in the paper newsletter, and by the way, I found out that we send out every time we publish an electronic newsletter, we send out about 820 emails, something like that. Don't quote me on it, but something in that ballpark. And we print 20 paper ones, and about 15 are taken every week. So we are conscious that there are some parishioners who are not online, but the vast majority are. So I have a paper one here, but most of our newsletters are electronic. And if you looked at the electronic newsletter, which I hope you did, hope you do. You see, there was something a little different in there this week that has not been there before. And I'm referring to the Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish financial information. That is correct, financial information. We've been talking about doing this for quite a while with the Finance Council. And what is it that we're doing? We're putting in, once a month, we're going to have a breakdown of the basic categories of our parish finances, the total amount of the Sunday collection, the total income, because we have income from a variety of different sources, and the total expenses. Now, I'm not an accountant. Most of you are not accountants, but I think most of us understand black and red. Black meaning you finish with more money than you spent, and the red is you spent more money than you had. And so generally, although there are seasons in our life we might have to go in the red, generally it's a good thing to finish the end of the year in the black. Many of you are aware that over the last couple of years in the parish, we have been in the red zone. And we've been in the red zone for a variety of reasons. Number one, we were coming out of the pandemic. Numbers were down. Secondly, we merged 5 communities together. And we were bringing together 4 different locations with 4 different cost centers and trying to figure out what things actually cost. We were discovering a lot of basic maintenance that had been postponed in the different buildings. Are the hike in fuel costs, the almost doubling in insurance costs, and trying to nail down our costs has been a moving target. It really has. It's been really, really difficult. And there was also a challenge with bringing the books together and trying to sort all of that out. And it was sometimes difficult. Now, if you've ever contemplated or experienced driving down the highway at 100 kilometers an hour with the lights off, don't ask me how I know what that feels like. But anyway, if you've ever experienced that, it's quite a terrifying thing. It's a good thing to have your lights on so you can see where you're going, where you're headed, and what's coming. And in many ways, the lack of what's felt like a lack of financial clarity for multiple reasons has been kind of scary over the last couple of years. So recently, we've been moving towards greater and greater clarity. And one of those clarifying points has been able to bring to you at the end of each month exactly what our costs are and our expenses. Now, we decided to do it on a monthly basis because the vast majority of our Sunday income comes through electronic means, and they don't necessarily come in, those gifts don't come in every single week, so it's hard to give a weekly amount. But most months, as you know, have 4 weeks, and so you'll see that in the month of August, we ran a deficit of $4,200 as a parish, and that's about $1,000 a week. Now, we did finish last year and the year before in a deficit position, and we're going to be in deficit again this year, there's no doubt about it. I've got to be honest with you, I really struggle with this because prior to coming here, of my 19 years as a pastor, there was only 1 year that I finished the year in a deficit position. And that was my first year in a parish that I took over in the middle of June, which was already in a $60,000 deficit when I arrived. So I'm not comfortable with deficits. I need you to know that, because I can totally understand why you might think the opposite. But I'm not comfortable. So it's not a good long-term strategy to run a deficit. However, I believe in this particular season that we're in, post-merger, post-pandemic, in the middle of the greatest decline in faith and church attendance that in our lifetime, we've got a moment of opportunity to turn the corner. We've got to, deal with our buildings. We've got to implement pastoral programming, do evangelization, discipleship. We've got the initiative in North Dartmouth with our outreach to the poor and the incredible things that are happening there that is kind of like a startup company. And we've got a vision for that. We've got a real hope for what that will eventually become, but it all costs money. And so, in a sense, we're pumping the gas. We've got a window of opportunity and we're pumping the gas. Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if we have decades of annual budgets, of balanced budgets, if we're finishing in the black, if we continue to go in the direction of decline, if we continue to be a dying community. So we need to pump resources, time, energy, and that costs money as well to bring about a turnaround. So that's where we're going. And overall, the goal this year and next year is to continue to bring the costs down and bring the income up. Now, we've made great strides in bringing the costs down. We've closed 2 of the locations after a lengthy process. And we're looking at other initiatives to bring down costs. However, inflation is high. I don't need to tell you that. You already know this. It's inflation. Insurance costs continue to go up, cost of oil and such. But we continue to move forward to find ways in which we can save on the expenses and put those resources in the things that will best guarantee our future as a healthy church. So costs come down. And the income has been going up gradually. It's been going up very gradually. I'm very pleased to say. A lot of basic indicators are that things are moving in the right direction. This past weekend, we had 667 people in church. Someone said, "Thank goodness for that last person that walked in the door." You figure that out by yourself. But 667 people. And I think it's our highest regular Sunday ever. Now, when I say regular Sunday, I mean it's like not Easter Sunday or Christmas or, a Sunday when we're giving away free stuff, like Palm Sunday. So it's moving in the right direction, but we need to continue to keep moving that income up. And here's the thing, folks, $1,000 deficit a week. Yep, that's about right. You can do the math. That's where we're headed this year, maybe even a little more than that. And I'm just, as well as telling you why we're printing this or communicating this information, it's to help you be informed about what's going on financially and to help you take ownership. The financial direction and future of our parish, or the present of our parish, it's not just on me. I contribute to this parish like everyone else. I contribute through automatic withdrawal. Together we're responsible for this. And my hope is that this will increase the ownership of the financial situation so that it's not just on my shoulders or the shoulders of the Finance Council. And I think we can close the gap. I think we can do it. It's $1,000 a week. We have 650 people coming here. I think we can do it. I think we can close this gap. So please check out this information when it comes out each month. We'll keep you informed. There will be some months that look better than others because sometimes we get like a large check for some reason or other, or on the other hand, a large bill. So don't be overly alarmed if you see some like big negative, or overly excited if you see a big positive. For the most part, we are throughout the year about $1,000 a week down. So please check that out and give it some thought and prayer. And I want to thank you for your growing engagement in our parish, and let's keep going as we answer the call that the Lord has for our life. So thank you, everyone, and God bless.